A good day, and thank you for finding me last minute. I totally forgot to set the live streaming up until 2 minutes ago, so um, Maria is right on the ball with it, though. And thank you again, Maria, for your donation. I appreciate that very much. And welcome to any new subscribers. I know we've got a few more in the last couple of days. Welcome. And please go to ourladyisgod.com and to really contemplate on what we believe the Trinitarian Theophany consists of, according to mainly a vision by St. Lucia from Fatima. Okay, no sound. Let's check to make sure everything. Oh, brother, everything looks supposedly good. Anybody can so nobody can hear me besides CJ? I want to check to see if anybody else cannot hear me. Okay, Maria does have sound. Okay, so CJ, it might be something on your end, but we're good here. Hello, CW and Denise. How is everyone? Rough night. I don't know. I got up at a little after 3 and couldn't get back to sleep, so decided to contemplate, and that was difficult, but yet persisted. Finally went back to sleep at 5, woke up at 7, and here I am. Again, like I said, I go to turn it on, and I was like, oh no, where's my Mass schedule? And it wasn't here, but that's okay. All right. Thank you also for Lucy, your response to my question. She put that over into an email to me, and then I asked her if I could put it on the website, which I did, about her basically idea of how the Trinitarian Theophany is to her. I'll just put it that way. And so I haven't gotten back there yet to see the discussion, but there probably is one. All right, let's get started, because I have another good half of a subchapter from St. Catherine of Siena about love. Okay, so let's get started. In nomine Dei, matronam nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Let us place ourselves in the presence of the Trinitarian Theophany, and in Catholic contemplation, humbly venerate the Divine Family. Most holy and venerable Trinitarian Theophany, one divine family, I believe that thou art here present. I venerate thee with the deepest humility. I render to thee with my whole heart the homage which is due to thee. O Trinitarian Theophany, relying on thine infinite goodness and promises, I hope to attain the pardon of my sins, the help of thy grace, and life everlasting, through the merits of Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Matronam Nostrae. O Trinitarian Theophany, I love thee above all things with my whole heart and soul, because thou art all good and worthy of all love. I love my neighbor as myself for love of thee, and I forgive all who have injured me, and ask pardon of all whom I have injured. Let us thank the Trinitarian Theophany for the many graces that we receive, and offer ourselves and our sufferings up to heaven, and for the souls in purgatory. O Trinitarian Theophany, I most humbly thank thee for all the favors thou hast bestowed upon me to the present moment. It is again thanks to thy bounty that I should live to see this day, and I desire to employ it solely in thy service. I consecrate to thee all my thoughts, words, actions, and sufferings of this day, Sanctify them, that there may be none that is not animated by thy love, or that would not tend to thy greater glory. Let us make a firm resolution to avoid evil and to do good. And let us beg of the Trinitarian Theophany the graces which are necessary to us. O Trinitarian Theophany, thou knowest my weakness, and that I am unable to do anything good without the help of thy grace. Deny me not thy grace proportionate to my necessities. Give me strength to avoid everything which thou forbiddest, to practice the good which thou hast commanded, and enable me patiently to bear all the trials which it may please thee to send me. O Dea Matronam Nostrae, I place myself under thy protection. I throw myself with confidence into the arms of thy compassion. Be to me, O Mother of Mercy, my refuge in distress, my consolation in suffering, now and at the hour of my death. O most holy Trinitarian Theophany, Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. I am heartily sorry for having offended thee, and I detest all my sins, because I dread the loss of heaven and the pains of hell. But most of all, because they offend thee, O most holy Trinitarian Theophany, Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, who are all good and deserving of all my love. I firmly resolve, with the help of thy grace, to confess my sins, to do penance, and to amend my life. Okay, so we were talking about the how the three steps figured in the bridge, that is the Son of God, the Trinitarian Theophany, Deum Iesum Christum, signify the three powers of the soul. Okay, so the steps are the three powers of the soul, and the figure of the bridge is Deum Iesum Christum. And we continue. The soul cannot live without love, but always wants to love something, because she is made of love, and by love I created her. And therefore I told thee that the affection moved the intellect, saying, as it were, I will love because the food on which I feed is love. Then the intellect, feeling itself awakened by the affection, says, as it were, if thou wilt love, I will give thee that which thou canst love. And at once it arises, considering carefully the dignity of the soul and the indignity into which she has fallen through being, it tastes my inestimable goodness and the increate charity with which I created her. And in contemplating her misery, it discovers and tastes my mercy, and sees how, through mercy, I have lent her time and drawn her out of darkness. Then the affection nourishes itself in love, opening the mouth of holy desire, with which it eats hatred and displeasure of its own sensuality, united with true humility and perfect patience, which it drew from holy hatred. The virtues conceived, they give birth to themselves perfectly and imperfectly, according as the soul exercises perfection in herself, as I will tell thee below. So, on the contrary, if the sensual affection wants to love sensual things, the eye of the intellect set before itself for its sole object transitory things, with self-love, displeasure of virtue, and love of vice, whence she draws pride and impatience, and the memory is filled with nothing but that which the affection presents to it. This love so dazzles the eye of the intellect that it can discern and see nothing but such glittering objects. It is the very brightness of the things that cause the intellect to perceive them, and the affection to love them. For had worldly things no such brightness, there would be no sin, for man, by his nature, cannot desire anything but good. And vice, appearing to him thus, under color of the soul's good, causes him to sin. But because the eye, on account of its blindness, does not discern, and knows not the truth, it errs, seeking good and delights where they are not. I have already told thee that the delights of the world without me are venomous thorns, and that the vision of the intellect is deluded by them, and the affection of the will is deluded into loving them, and the memory into retaining remembrance of them. The unity of these powers of the soul is so great that I cannot be offended by one without all the others offending me at the same time, because the one presents to the other, as I told thee, good or evil, according to the pleasure of the free will. This free will is bound to the affection, and it moves as it pleases, either with the light of reason or without it. Your reason is attached to me when your will does not, by disordinate love, cut it off from me. You have also in you the law of perversity that continually fights against your soul. You have them two parts in you, sensuality and reason. Sensuality is appointed to be the servant, so that with the instrument of the body you may prove and exercise the virtues. The soul is free, liberated from sin by the blood of my Son, and she cannot be dominated unless she consent with her will, which is controlled by her free choice. And when this free choice agrees with the will, it becomes one thing with it. And I tell thee truly that, when the soul undertakes to gather together with the hand of free choice her powers in my name, then are assembled all the actions, both soulful and temporal, that the creature can do, and free choice gets rid of sensuality and binds itself with reason. I then by grace rest in the midst of them, and this is what my truth, the Word incarnate, meant when he said, where there are 2 or 3 or more gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. And this is the truth. I have already told thee that no one could come to me except by him, and therefore did I make of him a bridge with 3 steps. And those 3 steps figure, as I will narrate to thee below, the 3 states of the soul, which we will tackle tomorrow. Again, very good stuff for contemplation and self-reflection mainly. Self-love is an issue, and it's what we need to look at every day within ourselves. It's very easy to look at others and point out their failings. It's a sign of a saint on its way to becoming a saint, I should say, for those who can endure wrongs patiently and to look at self to see how how yourself reacts to certain stimuli, if you will, or accusations or calumnies, etc. So contemplate that and the bridge, and let's have Mass. Deum vobiscum et quoque apud oremus. O Trinitarian Theophany, the Creator and Redeemer of all the faithful, grant to the souls of thy servants and handmaids the remission of all their sins, that they may obtain by loving prayers the forgiveness which they have always desired, who livest and reignest with thee, one Trinitarian Theophany, forever and ever. Suscipe Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, hanc immaculatum hostium, quam ego indignus famulus tuus offenditibi Deum meum vivum et verum, pro innumerabilibus peccatis et offensionibus et negligentiis meis, et pronibus circumstantibus sed pronibus fidelibus catholicorum vivis atque defunctis ut mihi et idis proficietat salutem. Deum qui humanae substantiae dignitate mirabilite contradicti et mirabilis reformasti da nobis, peruius atquae et divini mysterium eius divinitatis esse consortis qui humanitatis nostrae fieri dignatis est partaceps. Deum Iesum Christum Filium, qui tecum vivit et regnat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Offerimus tibi Deum calicem, salutaris tuum deprecantis clementiam, ut expetu divinae majestatis tuae pro nostra, et totius mundi salute, cum adore suavitatis ascendat. In spiritu humilitatis et in animo contrito, suscipiam orate Deum Iesum Christum, et sequiet sacrificium nostrum et expetu tuo hodie, placia tibi Deum matronam nostrae, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Veni sanctificator, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, et sanctificite blata pro secundo, et accepere hoc sacrificium tuo sanctum nomini, prae paratum. Suscipe Sancta Trinitas hanc oblationem cum tibi afferimus, a memoriam passionis, resurrectionis et ascensionis Deum Iesum Christum, et in honorem Dei matronam nostrae, et a Papa Peter Sanctorum, et istorum et omnium sanctorum, ut idis proficiet ad honorem nobis autem et salutem, et idi pro nobis intercedere dignentur in caelis cor memoriam agimus interis, periendum Christum Deum nostrum. Orate, ut meum equestrum sacrificium acceptabile fiat ab Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Suscipiat Deum Iesum Christum sacrificium de manibus tuis, ad laudem et gloriam nominis sui ad utilitatem quoque nostram, totiusque ecclesiae suae sanctae. Deum vobiscum, quoque apote, sursum corda habemus ad Deum, gratias agamus Deum nostrum, dignum et justum est. Te icito clementissime mater, et pater Deum matram nostrae, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per Deum Iesum Christum Filium tuum Deum nostrae, supplices rogamus et petimus, ut effecte habeas, et sanctificas haec sanctam sacrificium irribata. In primis quae tibi afferimus, pro ecclesiam tuam sanctum catholicam, quam pacificare, custodire ad honore, et regere digneris toto veterarum atque catholicae. Memento Deum famulorum famulumque tuorum. Pray for the sick and the suffering. We especially pray for Katie, Gage, Neil and Earl Lively, Maria Josephina Mose, Mark Jr., Henry, Barbara and Benedict Santa Croce, Casey, Mr. Nobody, Anne Botink, the Cantu and Duarte families, Micarla McLaren and family, Jenna, Lena, Lori, Aaron and family, Maria and the Lineweber family, the Cahill, Kendrick, Dasco, Kane, Nye, Tafor, Began, and Wolf families. We pray for Mr. Nobody to receive the funding and strength needed to complete the first Sedevacantist Catholic Council Office in Monastery of Illinois. We pray for an end to all governmental allowance or sanctioning of abortion, transgenderism, transhumanism, child trafficking, child abuse, forced medical treatments of any kind, anywhere, place, or time. We pray for the establishment of a Catholic monarchy with a sound Catholic system of labor, human value, and medium of exchange. We pray for courageous men to step forward as leaders of this Catholic society, and we pray for wisdom and grace to understand how to grow fruits and vegetables of high quality and raise healthy animals. We ask for the conversion of all sinners trapped in a state of mortal sin, especially the ignorant. And we pray that all media outlets, especially those who have trained their eye on television, and for those sitting at home alone, especially the elderly, may they stop deceiving and only report the truth and begin with the Trinitarian Theophany. We ask that all quote-unquote gay marriage be banned and a reversal of the feminist ideology, a return to godly femininity, that we all stop working for Freemasons and corporations, and that we come to understand that the raising of traditional Catholic families in the persona of the Trinitarian Theophany is a very high ideal and a necessity for sustaining a Catholic society. And we ask that all pornography in the OnlyFans platform be stopped immediately and forever. We ask that this Mass destroy the satanic document of Vatican law that is the Jewish Talmud, destroy Rome and the Vatican, recognize the authority of the Catholic Church to be in Portugal, and to release souls controlled by the demons Asmodeus and Lilith and many others. We also ask you to block the passage of any so-called pandemic treaty by the WHO, which has no basis in authority over us, but claims that it does, and is based on lies. All these things we ask in accordance with the Trinitarian Theophany's holy and divine will. Et omnium circumstantium quorum tibi fides cognita est et nota devotio. Pro quibus tibi ferimus, vel qui tibi affrontox sacraficium laudis, pro se suisque omnibus, pro redemptione animarum suarum, pro spe salutis et calamitatis suae, tibi que redum vota sua aeterno Deum vivo et vero. Communicantes et memoriam venerantes in primis gloriosae semper Deum matronam nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et beatorum martyrium tuorum, Papae Sancti Petri, et Sancti Lucia, et Sancti Jacintia, et Sancti Francisco, et Sancti Juan Diego, et omnium sanctorum tuorum, quorum meritis praecibusque concedas, ut in omnibus protectionis tuae, unium exidio periendum Christum Deum nostrum, quam oblatione ad Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum in omnibus consecratium acceptabilemque faceriti dignidis ut nobis corpum, et sanguinem fiat didictissimi filium tuum Deum Iesum Christum, qui pridie quam pateretur recepit panem in sanctis ac venerabilis manus suas, et derivatis oculis in caelum ante Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, suum omnipotentem tibi gratias agens, consecravit, fregit didique lumnis sui dicens, accipite et mandicati ex hoc omnes. Hoc est enim corpus meum. Simini modo postquam ceremonia est accipiens, et hunc per clarum calicem in sanctus ac venerabilis manus suas idem tibi gratias agens Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, consecravit didique lumnis sui dicens, accipite et bibite ex eo omnes. Hic est enim calix sanguinis mei, mysterium fidei, quae pro nobis et pro multis effundetur in remissionem peccatorum, aequo est simplificeritis in metis. unde et memores Deum nos servitui, sed plebs tua sancta justem Christum filium tuum Deum nostrae. Tam beate passiones nec non et eb infeliz resurrectionis, sed et in caelos gloriosae ascensionis offenimus praeclarae maestati tuae de tuis donis actatis, supra quae propitio axareno utu respicere digneris. Supplices te ergamus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, iube hec patere per manus tuum ut quodquod ex hoc autoris participationes sacrosanctum Deum Filium tuum, corpus et sanguinem sincerimus, omni sanctificatione caelesti et gratia repe amor per illum Christum Deum nostrae. We pray for those who have died, and we especially pray for Mona McCarthy, for whom this Mass is being offered. Ipsis emet omnibum in Christum, quis gentibum locum reficere illu, qui se paucis ut odor gesta proclamor per innum Christum Deum nostrum, per quem hic omnia Deum Iesum Christum semper bona creas, sanctificas, vivicas, consecratis et praestas nobis. Per ipsum et cum ipso et in ipso, est tibi Dea Matram omnipotenti in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, omnis honor et gloria. Ave Dea Matronam Nostrae, gratia plena Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum tecum. Dea Matronam Nostrae, Matram, Deum Iesum Christum, misericordia nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Libera nos, quaesimus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, ab omnibus malis, praeteritis, praesentibus et futuris et intercedente, beata et gloriosa semper Deum Matronam Nostrae. Cum Papa Petrum Sanctorum et omnibus sanctis da propitius pacem in divus nostris, ut ope misericordiae tuae aduiti et peccato, simus semper liberi et ab omni perturbationis securi. Per innum Deum nostrum, Iesum Christum Filium tuum Deum nostrum, qui tecum vivit et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per aeternam. Pax Deum Iesum Christum sit semper vobiscum et quoque apote, haec mixtio et consecratio copris et sanguinis Deum Iesum Christum fiat ecipentibus nobis in salutem aeternam. Pax tecum et quoque apote, Deum Iesum Christum, qui ex voluntate Deum Matronam Nostrae, cooperante Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per mortem tuum unum vivificasti, libera me per hoc sacrosanctum corpus et sanguinum tuum ab omnibus iniquitatibus meis, et universis malis, et fac me tui semper inharare mandatis, et eternum quam separari permittas, qui cum eodem Deum Matronam Nostrae et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, vivis et regnam aeternam. Percetio copris tui Deum Iesum Christum, quod ego indignus sumere praesum, non mihi proveniat in judicium et condamnationem, sed pro tua pietate prosit mihi ad tutamentum mentis copris et ad medelam, percipiendam qui vivis et reinas, cum Deum Matronam Nostrae in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Panem galestem accipim et omen Deum Iesum Christum invocabo. Deum Matronam Nostrae non sunt dignis, ut intercedete meis, in tante dequeribus in abetur anima mea. Deum Iesum Christum non sunt dignis, ut intercedete meis, in tante dequeribus in abetur anima mea. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum non sunt dignis, ut intercedete meis, in tante dequeribus in abetur anima mea. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima mea. Quid retribuam Deum Iesum Christum pro omnibus, quae retribuit mihi calicem saitaris accipimet nomen Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum immocabo, laudans immocabo Deum matronam nostrae et ab inimicis meis avusero, sanguis Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima meam. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet animam tuum. Quod sumus Deum Iesum Christum piedemente capiam et septimune de temperae fit nobis remedium sempiternum. Corpus tuum Deum Iesum Christum, quod soms et sanguis quem petravi. Adheriat, vis geribus meis praesta, ut in me non remaneat. Scele macula, quem purat sancta reficina sacramenta. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apote, oremus. May the prayer of thy suppliants profit the souls of thy servants and handmaids, we beseech thee, O Trinitarian Theophany, that thou mayest free them from all sins and make them sharers in thy redemption, who livest and reignest with thee, one divine family, forever and ever. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apote, ite missa est, Deum gratia. Placeat tibi sancta Trinitam obsequium servitutis meae, et praesta ut sacrificium cor oculis tuae majestatis indignus otoli tibis et acceptabile mihique et omnibus, pro quibus idut otoli sit miserante perpetuabile, per Christum Deum nostrum. Sanctificat vos omnipotens Deus, Deum, Patronum et Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, Deum matronum nostre et Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, gratias. O most holy Trinitarian Theophany, I believe, I venerate, I hope, and I love thee. I beg of thee pardon for those who do not believe, do not venerate, do not hope, and do not love thee. Most holy Trinitarian Theophany, I venerate thee profoundly, and I offer to thee the most precious body, blood, soul, and divinity of Deum Jesum Christum present here, in reparation for the outrages, sacrileges, and indifference by which he himself is offended, and through the infinite merits of his most sacred heart and immaculate heart of Deum Matronam Nostrae, I beg of thee the conversion of poor sinners. In nomine Deum Matronam Nostrae, Deum Jesum Christum, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, Gracias. One thought that came to my mind while I was saying Mass was the way that I can understand the Trinity is one where at first we meet our mother, just like we do here on earth. She's the first that she brings us into the world, and she cares for us, okay? And then she introduces you to her son, or your father in this case, but she introduces you to Deum Jesum Christum, and then that is the way in order to get into the heaven according to Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. So it's a natural progression from one to the other, but they're all together, and it's really beautiful when you contemplate it in the varied ways. I hope you enjoyed today's Mass and discussion about St. Catherine of Siena. Again, welcome to any new subscribers. Please check out the website, ourladyisgod.com, and please go and sanctify all those you meet. We'll see you tomorrow.